cells. Okay, so there is one new term. So this is also cross section of a seminiferous tubule. You can see this is the cross section. This is a seminiferous tubule, this is a seminiferous tubule. Okay, so seminiferous tubule is lined by spermatogonia, and some Sertoli cells will be there in between. The big cells are Sertoli cells because they provide nutrition. And this spermatogonia, you can see the spermatogonia maturing into primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, spermatids, and finally sperms. All this is happening inside the seminiferous tubule. Okay, in between the seminiferous tubules, this area is lined by the interstitial cells, or the also known as the Leydig cells, and they produce the androgens. And the most potent androgen is a testosterone, which is important for secondary sexual characters in males, in a male or a boy. So the Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called the androgens. Okay, and other immunologically competent cells are also present. So now we'll come to know the anatomy, the male sex accessory ducts, which include the rete testae, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. So in a testis there are seminiferous tubules. All these seminiferous tubules will form a network, which is known as the rete testis. Okay, then they will form the vasa efferentia, and they will leave the testis as vasa efferentia into the epididymis. Okay, it is in the posterior aspect of the testis. Epididymis will vas deferens open into the vas deferens, ascend into the vas deferens will ascend into the bladder and wind around it, and it will receive a duct from the seminiferous tubule and form the ejaculation duct, and then it will open into the urethra. Okay, so these ducts will store and transport the sperms from the testis to the outside the urethra. Urethra originates from the bladder and extends through the penis into the opening called as the urethral meatus. Meatus means opening. So the end of the urethral opening, that is in the end of the penis, is known as the urethral meatus. Okay, so this we have to know the formation, that is a seminiferous tubule, then it will cause rete testae, then it will form the vasa efferentia, then it will form the epididymis, then it will cause a vas deferens, then vas deferens plus seminal vesicle duct, ejaculatory duct, and then urethra, then urethra into the urethral meatus. Okay, now penis is the male external genitalia. It is made up of a special tissue that helps in erection of the penis. The penis has certain muscles, smooth muscles, which will cause the erection and then facilitate insemination. The large end of the penis is called the glans penis, and it is covered by a loose fold of skin known as the foreskin. So we have heard about circumcision. Some religious practices, and sometimes for health reasons also, this foreskin is removed from the glans penis, and that is known as circumcision. The male accessory glands include paired. So what are the components of a male accessory gland? Paired seminal vesicle, that is two seminal vesicle, one prostate, and two bulbourethral or caudex gland. So these are the glands which we have, and we have two testes, two vas deferens, one urinary bladder, and one urethra. Okay, I think this is clear now. So this was male reproductive system. I hope it is clear. One more thing which they ask is spermatogonia, that is the male germ cell. This forms the spermatocyte, first primary then secondary. The spermatocyte will form the spermatid, then this will form the spermatozoa or the sperm. So this is also always asked in the MCQ. And we must know that spermatogonia has the whole set of chromosome 2n. Spermatos primary has 2n and secondary will have 2n, and spermatid will have n. Okay, and spermatozoa is also n. This is actually a matured version of the spermatid, and this whole process is done in 74 days, and this whole process is known as spermatogenesis, and this occurs in the seminiferous tubules. Other thing which I had to tell is the male accessory glands, two seminal vesicles, one prostate, and one paired bulbourethral gland. The secretions of the seminal vesicle are very rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. And the secretion of the bulbourethral gland also helps in the lubrication of the penis. So I just wanted to add here is this fructose is formed from the from the seminal vesicles. So they form the 70% content of the seminal plasma, and for fructose is from the seminal vesicle. And this is very important is because human body normally doesn't form fructose anywhere. Only this is the only place where fructose is formed in a human body. So that is important. And bulbourethral gland mostly secretes, their secretions are mostly known as the precum, which comes, it helps in lubrication of the penis, and also it neutralizes the acidity from the urine. So it will neutralize that, and it will cause safe passage of the sperm. That is a function of the bulbourethral gland. And prostate, another thing is I wanted to tell is prostate is seen in the males. It is just below the bladder. It is only one prostate is there in human body, and prostate is controlled from the by the hormonal control is also there, and it mostly in males, when as they grow older, there is a tendency of the prostate to increase in size, and that condition is also known as benign prostatic hypertrophy. Because of this, in older men there is a difficulty in control of the urination. So that is mostly because of the BPH problem in males. And another thing I wanted to tell is about the male reproductive organ is normally when in a fetus, during the embryonic development in the womb of the mother, the testis is in the pelvis of the fetus, and as they are born, it descends from the abdomen to the scrotum. That's why when a male baby is born, always the scrotum is visualized and it is palpated to see if the testis is there or not. Why is this important? This is important because if the testis is not descendant, then one is that the if it is not descended, then as we learned earlier, sperm formation is not possible because of the temperature. High temperature inside the body cavity. Another thing is that the pelvic testis is highly prone to testicular cancer. So this may make the child infertile in future and also high chance of testicular cancer. So this condition is known as cryptorchidism, and if it is diagnosed mostly for the first 3 months of life, it is monitored for natural descent, and if natural descent is not happening, so by or before 1 year of life, surgery is done. Orchidopexy, to position the testis back into the scrotum. That surgery is known as orchidopexy. So that's all I wanted to talk about male reproductive system. If there are any doubts, you can please tell in the comment.